Good morning po. Di pa ba tapos yung FAQ-N? Yung ibang may FAQ-N, wala pa sila. Okay. Sige. So let's check your attendance first before we start with our discussion. So say present po pag nandyan. Miss Abelia, Alimagno, Andaya, Miss Andaya, Arias, Barte,
Present po.
Cabrera,
Present po.
Darilag, Gomez, Laresma, Miss Laresma, Lumagda,
Present po.
Mariano, Sadiaza,
Present po.
Simangan,
Present po si Mangan.
Texon,
Present, sir.
Ticar, Velasco.
Present po.
Okay. Sige, Miss Andaya. Andaya, present. Let's check our attendance after the discussion. So for today, we're going to discuss your respiratory system. Stop sharing. Kindly open your cameras during the discussion. Okay. Papatayin lang ni sir yung camera, medyo mabagal yung internet ni sir. Pero kayo dapat naka-open ng camera. Okay? So for today, we're going to talk about your respiratory system. So isa siya sa pinaka-importanting systems ng katawan, especially for us physical therapists. No? Kasi isipin ninyo, kahit gaano kagaling yung muscles ng pasyente natin, kung kulang naman yung oxygen nila, hindi din sila makakapag-function properly. So very interconnected yung inyong pulmonary system or respiratory system sa movement, endurance, and overall health ng mga pasyente ninyo. Okay? So let's start with the basic functions of the respiratory system. Hindi lang siya about breathing or respiration. No? Marami pong roles ang inyong respiratory system. Okay, number one, we have gas exchange or respiration. No? Dito mapasok yung oxygen sa katawan, lumalabas din po yung carbon dioxide. Diba? So, ito yung main reason kung bakit tayo humihinga. So, every time na humihinga tayo, hindi lang basta air movement, may exchange na nangyayari na critical for survival. There is inward flow of oxygen and outward flow of carbon dioxide. Okay? Number two, regulation of pH level. No? Kapag masyadong maraming carbon dioxide sa katawan, nagiging acidic ang dugo. Tama po? So what the body does is ilalabas niya yung excess CO2, carbon dioxide, through breathing. So meaning, hindi lang si blood yung nagre-regulate ng pH natin, pH level ng katawan. Kasama po sino? Si pulmonary system or respiratory system. Bakit? Sabi nga natin, carbon dioxide, increasing level of carbon dioxide in the body or in the blood, it will lead to acidity of the blood. Okay? So para maiwasan, ma-regulate yung acid-base balance ng katawan, no? The body humihinga, no? Nilalabas niya yung excess carbon dioxide to prevent excessive acidity sa body natin. Malinaw po yun sa regulation of pH. Di ba nung prelim, we have your blood. Tama ba ako? Prelim ba tayo midterm ng blood? Hindi nyo na rin matandaan. Di ba sa blood, siya yung buffer system natin in regulation of your pH level. So, your blood and the pulmonary system works hand in hand to regulate your pH level. Okay? Nire-regulate niya yung levels of carbon dioxide inside the body or inside the blood. And number 3, we have your voice production. No? Paano man nagkakaroon ng voice production? Kasi may dumadaan na hangin. Saan? Sa larynx. Diba? As we all know, your larynx is your voice box. So, pinapagalaw nung inyong larynx, no, yung inyong vocal cords kapag may dumadaan na hangin. No? Kaya tayo nakakagawa ng sound. Whether sasalita ka, kumakanta ka, sumisigaw ka. No? There is vibration of vocal cords due to the presence of air inside the larynx or voice box. Number 4, we have your olfaction, no? Or your sense of smell. So sa loob ng ilong ninyo, may mga receptors daw, may mga sensors na nagde-detect ng different smells. So hindi lang pala siya daanan ng hangin. No, may sensory function din po ang inyong respiratory system. As we all know, inside the nose, no, we have what cranial nerve yun? Nag-exit dun sa roof ng nose, wherein the roof of the nose is also known as your cribriform plate of ethmoid. So yung nag-exit sa cribriform plate of ethmoid. Sinong cranial nerve yun? Olfaction. CN1, di ba? Your olfactory nerve. Dumadaan doon, kaya may olfaction na function ang inyong respiratory system. And number 5, no, lastly, we have the innate immunity. Pag sinabing immunity, parang sa lymphatics, protection against pathogens, infection, bacteria, viruses. Bakit? Paano nangyayari merong immunity ang respiratory system? Diba we have the production of mucus. Wherein, sino pong cells yung nagpo-produce ng mucus? Sabi natin before, letter G. Sinong cells yun? Goblet cells. Very good. Diba? So, meron tayong mucus secretion or mucus production. And we have your ciliary escalator. Diba? We have your cilia sa respiratory tract. So, this structures, no, acts as a filter. Sinasalo nila yung mga dust, yung bacteria, and other particles para hindi makapasok sa lungs. Meaning, first line of defense din pala ang respiratory system due to the presentation or meron tayo kasi doon presence of mucus and cilia sa respiratory tract. Malinaw po yung 5 functions ng respiratory system. May question? Okay. Next, let's proceed to the process of respiration. So let's define what is pulmonary ventilation. As we all know, pulmonary ventilation simply means movement of air in and out of the lungs. Simply ang ventilation is the movement of air inside and outside of the lungs. Kapag humihinga kayo, no, papasok, this is inspiration. Meaning, sinong pumasok sa lungs? The oxygen. Okay? Meaning, no, during inspiration, the oxygen goes inside the lungs. On the other hand, kapag palabas naman, expiration, lumalabas sino? Si carbon dioxide. Okay? Ventilation is the movement of air inside and outside of the lungs. Okay? Malinaw po yung ventilation natin. Di ba, this follows what principle or what law? That's your Boyle's law. Ano ba sinasabi ni Boyle's law sa fission ninyo before? Di ba? Pag increase ang pressure, decrease ang volume. Tama? Paano ba ang diffusion? Ano sabi ko na, paano ba ang movement ng air through diffusion? Diba? From high concentration to low concentration. That's your simple diffusion. Ano bang marami sa environment? Oxygen or carbon dioxide? Environment, ano marami sa kanya? Oxygen or carbon dioxide? Sa labas ng katawan? Oxygen, di ba? Oxygen, meaning konti ang oxygen sa katawan. Kaya nga, di ba, diffusion from high concentration, meron tayong pressure gradient, pressure difference. From high concentration of oxygen outside the body, pupunta saan? Sa low concentration inside the body. O ganun din kapag carbon dioxide. Kapag gumagalaw kayo, nagpo-produce ang katawan ng carbon dioxide. So meaning, carbon dioxide is increased inside the body. So from high to low concentration, high ang concentration of carbon dioxide inside the body, kaya nilalabas niya papunta sa outside the body. Malinaw? Ulitin natin. Simply, your ventilation is the movement of air inside and outside of the lungs. Malinaw po? Okay. So meron tinatawag na internal and external respiration. When it comes to external respiration, ito po yung kung saan yung gas exchange happens between the lungs and the blood. Ulitin natin. Kapag external respiration, the gas exchange happens between the lungs and the blood. Or the site of gas exchange is inside the lungs. Okay? Ano nangyayari? Nagaganap daw po yung palitan ng gases between the alveoli, wherein si alveoli sa makikita sa loob ng lungs, and the pulmonary capillaries. Okay, meaning the site of external respiration is inside the lungs. So ano nangyayari? Yung oxygen na ginawa ni lungs, moves from the alveoli papuntang dugo. Sa lungs tayo ha, site natin. The oxygen moves from the alveoli papuntang dugo. On the other hand, your carbon dioxide, anong gagawin ni carbon dioxide? It moves from the blood pupuntang alveoli para mailabas ng katawan. That's external respiration. So gumawa si lungs ng oxygen, pupunta ngayon siya sa blood. Yung carbon dioxide na nagamit na before, babalik sa lungs, i-excrete, ilalabas ni lungs. Malinaw yun? Okay. O anong effect yun? Bohr or Haldane effect? Sa fission nyo, correlate lang natin. Diba, we have your palatandaan, halo-halo, saka boko. Pag halo-halo, O2, oxygen. So Haldane, there's increased binding of oxygen. Kapag boko, there is increased binding of carbon dioxide. Ulit, kapag Haldane, there will be increased binding of oxygen and displacement of CO2. Kapag Bohr, there will be increased binding of CO2 and there is displacement of oxygen. So in this case, external respiration, sabi natin, yung oxygen pumuntang blood. Yung CO2 pumuntang lungs, ilalabas. Ano siya, Haldane or Bohr? In terms of hemoglobin, diba? Kapag external respiration, there will be increased binding of, very good, Haldane. There will be increased binding of oxygen in the hemoglobin. Diba hemoglobin, yun po yung nagta-transfer, no, nagde-deliver ng oxygen sa ating body tissues. O sa Haldane, there will be increased binding of oxygen. Okay? sa hemoglobin. Kasi nga, dadali niya saan? Sa body tissues, sa blood. Ngayon, ano nangyari dun sa inside the lungs? There will be displacement of CO2. Kasi nga, binalik siya sa lungs, ilalabas siya. Kailangan niya magstay dun sa lungs. So, how they effect kapag po external respiration? Malinaw? Okay. Next, let's proceed to your internal respiration. So, kabaliktaran. So, kapag internal respiration, ito, nangyari naman to saan? Sa tissue level. Kung kanina, sa lungs nangyari sa external respiration, internal, from the word internal, loob. So, tissue level. Nangyayari yan sa systemic capillaries. No? Between the body tissues and the systemic capillaries. So, ang oxygen, nasa blood kanina, papasok ngayon sa tissues or cells. No, kapag internal respiration. Tapos yung carbon dioxide, no, na nanggaling sa cell, kasi nga gamit na siya, pupunta ngayon sa blood para maidala ngayon pabalik saan? Sa lungs. Internal respiration. So meaning there will be displacement of oxygen. Sir, ba't po na-displace yung oxygen? Kasi nga gagamitin ni body tissues. So may displacement ng oxygen, pero there will be increased binding of CO2 sa hemoglobin. Kasi babalik si hemoglobin saan? Sa lungs. I-deliver niya sino? Si CO2 pabalik. Malinaw? So meaning, under internal respiration, it is under Bohr effect. Malinaw po? Okay. Next, we have your transport of respiratory gases or respiration. So after gas exchange, no, kailangan na daw po magkaroon ng transport of gases. So how does that happen? Siyempre, through blood. So yung oxygen na nakuha ninyo sa lungs, dinadala sila sa different parts ng katawan. And yung carbon dioxide naman from the cells, binabalik sa lungs. And this is where your perfusion comes in. Pag sinabing perfusion, that's the blood flow, no? Meaning flow of oxygenated blood to the tissues, perfusion. Ulitin natin, ang ventilation, it is the movement of air in and out of the lungs. On the other hand, your perfusion is the blood flow, no? Movement or flow of oxygenated blood towards the tissues. Malinaw po yung difference between the perfusion and ventilation. Okay. So let's compare your external and internal respiration para mas malinaw. Kapag external respiration, sabi natin, nangyayari saan? Kapag external respiration, saan nangyayari ang external respiration? Saan po? External respiration, sabi ko kanina. External tayo, external. Sa lungs, very good. So, nangyayari sa lungs sa external respiration. So, yung oxygen from the atmosphere, papasok, pupunta sa dugo. And then the carbon dioxide from the blood, pupuntang lungs, and then ilalabas ng katawan. So, sabi natin, the location, lungs. Meaning, specifically, between the alveoli and your pulmonary capillaries. Okay, alveoli and pulmonary capillaries. Specifically, pero inside the lungs. So, nung goal nito, magpasok ng oxygen sa blood at maglabas ng carbon dioxide. Okay? Yun po yung goal ng inyong external respiration. On the other hand, your internal respiration, saan ito nangyari? Sa picture, saan nangyari? Sabi ni Sir kanina, kung lungs ang external, ang internal, saan mangyayari? Loob. Anong loob? Anong structure? Body tissues. Very good. Diba? So, oxygen from the blood, pumapasok sa cells, and yung carbon dioxide from the cells, pupuntang blood, pabalik ng lungs. So, ang location, specifically, kung alveoli and pulmonary capillaries ang external respiration, the internal respiration is located specifically between systemic capillaries, and your body tissues. Okay? Body tissue. So, ang goal dito, ma-deliver yung oxygen dun sa cells para magamit niya to produce ATP and oxygen. ATP and energy rather. No? And alisin yung carbon dioxide, ibalik sa lungs. No? Pero saan ang location? Body tissues kapag internal respiration. Malinaw yung difference between external and internal respiration? Okay, good. So now, let's move on into the functional anatomy of respiration. No? First, actually, it is subdivided into two divisions. We have your conducting zone and your respiratory zone. In terms of functional anatomy, we have two zones, conducting zone and your respiratory zone. So let's move into the conducting zone, no? Also known as your dead space. Sir, ano pong dead space? Usually, specifically, your conducting zone is an anatomic dead space. Sir, bakit po anatomic dead space? Pag sinabing atomic dead space, walang gas exchange. Okay? Walang gas exchange. Walang palitan ng oxygen and carbon dioxide. Ano lang siya? Passageway. No? Passageway ng alin po? Ng hangin, ng air. Kaya conducting zone. So meaning, conducting zone basically is the pathway of air from the nose all the way to the terminal bronchioles. Tandaan, conducting zone from the nose papuntang terminal bronchioles. No? Wala po tayong gas exchange dito. So kahit dumadaan ng hangin, hindi pa dito nagaganap yung palitan ng oxygen and carbon dioxide. So anong function niya ulit? Maghatid lang ng hangin. Pero at the same time, nililinis niya yung hangin, pinapainit niya yung hangin, and minomoisturize niya yung hangin. So there's filtration, there is humidification of air. No? Pagdating sa lungs, ready na yung air. Okay, sabi natin, from the nose, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, and terminal bronchioles. Nose, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, and terminal bronchioles. Sir, bakit po dapat i-humidify ang air bago pumasok sa lungs or sa bronchi? Ba't kailangan i-humidify ang air? Hindi pwedeng cold air ang papasok. Tingin nyo why? Para hindi matuyo yung airway. Ano pa? Kapag cold ang air, anong nangyayari sa airway? Dilate, constrict. Bronchodilation, bronchoconstriction. Pag malamig ang air. Dilation, constriction. Constriction, di ba? Bronchoconstriction. O in this case, kung malamig ang pumasok na air, nag-bronchoconstriction ang passageway, ang airway, mahirapan huminga yung pasyente or ang isang individual. Tama? Kaya ang galing nga ni Lord, naisip niya na dapat may mag-humidify nung air na papasok sa loob ng katawan to prevent bronchoconstriction para maayos pa rin yung paghinga ng pasyente or ng isang individual. Malinaw? Kaya dapat ni-humidify ninyo yung air. Okay? Next one, we have your respiratory zone. So kung kanina si conducting zone, the only function of your conducting zone is it acts as a passageway of air. No? Walang gas exchange. Etong respiratory zone, ito yung pinaka-importanting part when it comes to gas exchange. No? Dito kasi talaga nangyayari yung oxygen papasok sa dugo, yung carbon dioxide lalabas. No? Ganun nangyayari. So this is the actual site of gas exchange. Okay? So this region makikita yan deeper inside the lungs. No? Manipis na yung walls nila. O kung manipis na ang walls nila, mas maganda ngayon ang gas exchange. Mas okay ang or perfect for diffusion. No? Kaya respiratory zone is the actual site of gas exchange. Anong other name ng respiratory zone? Pakitandaan, take note, the other name of respiratory zone is your sinus. Wherein your sinus is the functional unit of the respiratory system. Bakit? Kasi nga, dun sa action niya, function niya, gas exchange. Diba? O kung kanina, ano yung mga components ulit ng conducting zone? Sabi natin, ano yung mga components ng conducting zone natin? We have your nose, ano pa? Sunod-sunod. We have the nose. Ano sunod sa nose? O, nasal cavity. We have your pharynx. Ano sunod na pharynx? Larynx. Sunod kay larynx. Trachea. Sunod. Bronchi, the primary bronchi, and your we have your bronchi, we have your primaries, lobar, segmental bronchi, and we have your terminal bronchioles. Very good. So respiratory zone, ano naman sa respiratory zone? We have your respiratory bronchioles, followed by your alveolar ducts, followed by your alveolar sacs, and your alveoli. No? Minsan sinasama pa nga si capillaries, yung pinakadulo, kasi nakadikit yun kay alveoli. Okay? So respiratory bronchioles, alveolar ducts, alveolar sacs, and the alveoli with the capillaries. Malinaw po yung difference between the respiratory zone and the conducting zone. Okay. So the conducting passages, ito yung sinasabi natin kanina. No? We have the nose, dito unang pumapasok yung hangin, no? Tapos may mga buhok daw dyan, no? We have your vibrissae. Diba? Your vibrissae. Wherein it filter out, no? It humidifies the air. No? It filter out the different microorganisms, bacteria, virus, hindi pala virus, yung mga dust particles, no? Para hindi na pumasok dun sa lungs niyo. That's your vibrissae. May buhok na nag-filter ng large particles. Afterwards, we have your pharynx, wherein it serves as a passageway for both air and food. No? Shared pathway siya. Sunod, we have your larynx, also known as your voice box. No, dito nagagaling yung sound production natin. Kaya nga, di ba, one function of your respiratory zone, or respiratory system rather, is to produce sound, phonation, no? Resonance. And then, after larynx, we have your trachea. This is also known as your windpipe. Ito yung main tube that carries air papunta sa lungs. Tapos yung trachea, mahati sa dalawa, no? Into two, one for each lung, right and left, main bronchi or primary bronchi. And then mahati yung main bronchi sa right and left, may lobar bronchi, wherein it supplies each lobe of the lungs. And segmental bronchi naman, further division, no? Each supplies ngayon the bronchopulmonary segments. And the last part, no, of conducting zone, yung mga smallest airways ng conducting zone known as your terminal bronchioles. So dito nagtatapos yung conducting zone natin. Okay? Next, we have your respiratory passageway or passages. No? So from terminal bronchioles, papasok tayo sa respiratory zone. Dito na nangyari yung gas exchange. We have your respiratory bronchioles, small airways siya na nag-start to have alveoli. May konting gas exchange na kasi nangyayari sa respiratory bronchioles. And then we have your alveolar ducts na it will lead to alveolar sacs. Yung mga alveolar sacs, para silang clusters. Pag sinabing clusters, groups of alveoli. Parang grapes, kumbaga, alveolar sacs. And then we have your alveoli, yan ay mga tiny air sacs na dito na po nangyayari yung gas exchange. No? Very important po ang alveoli ha, kasi manipis ang walls nila, tapos surrounded sila ng mga capillaries na perfect for diffusion. Okay? Malinaw po yun. Okay. Now let's look at the structural division of the respiratory system. We divided it it into upper respiratory tract and your lower respiratory tract. No? So the upper respiratory tract is located above the larynx. No? Specifically, we have the nose, the pharynx, and the larynx kapag upper respiratory tract. No? So your lower respiratory tract, on the other hand, is located below the larynx. So it includes your trachea, your bronchi, your bronchioles, and up to the alveoli. No? Nandiyan naman po nakalista. So sabi natin, kanina sino po ang functional unit natin ng respiratory system? Functional unit of the respiratory system. Sinus, also known as your respiratory zone. Very good. No? Pag tinanong, sino ang structural unit of the lungs? Structural unit of the lungs. The structural unit of the lungs is your alveoli. So, ang functional unit is the sinus or your respiratory zone because actual gas exchange happens in this area. No? Alveoli is the structural unit of the lungs kasi doon po nagkakaroon ng gas exchange sa alveoli. Malinaw? Diba, sabi each lung has 300 million alveoli, meaning kung both lungs, we have 600 million alveoli. Okay? So next, let's discuss the first part. No, we have your nose and nasal cavity. So let's zoom into the first part of airway, the nose and nasal cavity. So this is the entry point of air, and also it plays a role in filtering, in warming, in moistening air. No, the nose and the nasal cavity. So ito yung mga different parts ng nose ninyo. No? So be familiarized. For sure, lalabas yun sa pracs ninyo and may pracs tayo next week, ha? Pracs natin are topic today and your lymphatics. Lymphatics and your respiratory system. Pero ang quiz lang natin next week is respiratory system. So nag-quiz tayo ng lymphatics last time. So let's proceed to your external nose. No? Let's identify the different parts of the external nose yung nakikita natin sa labas, syempre. No? So we have the root of the nose. Itong root of the nose, nandyan sa pinaka upper part. The upper part malapit saan? Sa frontal bone or the forehead. We also have the apex here, no? Meaning the apex is the tip of the nose. Okay, the tip of the nose. We also have here the dorsum part. No? Sa dorsum part, meron kayo tinatawag na bridge. Yung bridge, yan po yung bony framework or bony part of the nose. No? Yung gitnang ridge. We also have the ala nasi. Yung ala ninyo. Yung nasa gilid ng nostrils ninyo. Nostrils is the butas. Yung nasa gilid, that's your ala. No? Or alae nasi. Okay? The sides of the nostrils na parang wings ng ilong. No? Ala nasi. And we have your nostrils, the anterior nares. No, these are the openings kung saan pumapasok yung hangin. No? Anterior nares or your nostrils. External nares din siya kasi nasa labas siya. Tandaan, ang nostrils pwedeng anterior nares or external nares kasi nga nasa labas. Kasi meron internal nares later on na i-discuss. Okay? And we have your nasal septum sa loob. Yung nasal septum, also known as your columella or the septum mobile na C. Yun yung part between the nostrils, divider ng right and left na nostrils. No? Malinaw po yun. Malinaw yung diniscuss natin na parts of the external nose. Now we have the root, the apex, the bridge, the ala nasi, the nostrils or the anterior nares, and your nasal septum. Okay? Take note ha, your bridge of the nose is supported by a bone. So yan, sabi natin kanina, bony part. No? Pero yung lower part of the nose, no, mostly cartilage sila gawa. Okay? Ang bony part lang or bony framework is the bridge. Pero the rest part, the lower part, is mostly cartilage. So let's move inside the nose. So kanina external ang diniscuss. Ngayon, let's move on into the internal naman. So the internal nose, or also known as the nasal cavity, sila naman po yung responsible not just for breathing but also for olfaction or sense of smell. Okay, unahin natin si nasal vestibule, yung pinaka-entrance. So the nasal vestibule here, ito yan. Ito yung nasal vestibule. Yung nandyan, yung butas na yan. Okay? So yan po yung part inside the nostrils. So may mga important structures dyan. We have the sweat glands. O, alam natin, sweat glands, from the word sweat glands, sila po yung nagpo-produce ng pawis, ng sweat. Sebaceous glands, sila naman naglalabas ng oil. We also have your vibrissae. Di ba sabi natin, these are small, minute hairs na very important. Bakit sila very important? Number one, for protection. They act as filters kasi sinasala nila yung dust particles. That's your vibrissae. And also, it humidifies, warms the air. Malinaw po yung function ng vibrissae natin. Okay, let's proceed. We have your lumen nasi naman. Your lumen nasi, tandaan ninyo, this only the boundary between the skin and the mucous membrane. Kasi inside the nasal cavity may mucous membrane. So between the skin and the mucous membrane, we have what we call a structure called lumen nasi. Okay? So basically, from here pa lang, nasisimula na yung filtering mechanism ng katawan sa nasal cavity or nasal vestibule. Okay? So after nasal vestibule, ito ang nasal vestibule ninyo sa picture. Di ba may mga hairs dyan, vibrissae. Itong nandito sa gitna, this is your nasal cavity proper. So nahati siya sa dalawa. We have your olfactory region and the respiratory region. That's your nasal cavity proper. Okay? Yan yung deeper part ng nasal cavity. Sabi nga natin, we divided it into two functional regions, the upper olfactory region and the lower respiratory region. Doon sa upper olfactory region, dito po nangyayari from the word olfactory, yung sense of smell. Diba sabi nga natin, the roof of the nose is the cribriform plate of ethmoid. Located siya sa upper part of the nasal cavity, yung olfactory region, wherein doon natin nakikita or where the olfactory receptors are found. Okay, kaya nga sa olfactory region. So meaning, ang kanyang primary function is for sense of smell, olfactory region. On the other hand, your lower respiratory region, this part naman is more on airflow. Responsible sila sa pagdaan ng hangin papunta sa lungs. Your respiratory region. Okay? Sir, ano yung internal nares? Di ba kanina meron tayong external nares? Ano yung external nares natin kanina? Nares is opening. External nares. Anong other name nun? External nares. Your nostrils or your anterior nares. Tama? Ngayon, your internal nares sa loob. So meaning, this is your posterior nares. Ulit. The anterior nares is also known as your external nares or your nostrils. Dito sa loob, we have your internal nares or your what we call posterior nares. Or specifically, that's your choanine. Okay? Choanine. So opening siya from the nasal cavity leading to the nasopharynx. Okay? So opening, connecting the nasal cavity towards the nasopharynx, that's your choanine. Or internal nares. So dito dumadaan yung hangin papunta saan? Sa throat, sa pharynx. Malinaw yon? O saan banda siya sa picture dyan? E dito, bago ka mag-nasopharynx, itong opening dito, yung butas na yan, this is the nasal cavity, yung pagitan nilang dalawa, this is the choanine or internal nares. Malinaw po? Malinaw po tayo? Nandiyan pa ba kayo? Okay. Next, we have the walls of the nasal cavity. So, let's understand no the structure. May 4 na walls daw po ng nasal. Sorry, may nag-message. Okay? May 4 na walls ng nasal cavity. We have the superior or the roof, the inferior or the floor, the medial, yung septum, yung gitna, and the lateral labyrinth. So kung titignan niyo sa picture, etong nandito sa taas, this is the roof, the superior wall. Yung nasa baba, this is the inferior wall or the floor. Etong nasa gitna, no, this is your septum. And yung mga nasa gilid, no, that's your labyrinth, no, the lateral wall. So the superior wall of the nasal cavity is composed of bones. No? We have the nasal bone, the frontal bone, the ethmoid, the sphenoid. Na important to remember na this area is close to the brain. No? The superior wall. Kaya pala protected sila ng mga buto kasi closer sila sa brain. No, tandaan, ang superior wall composed of bones, nasal, frontal, ethmoid, and sphenoid. No? And on the other hand, your floor or the inferior wall, no, is formed by the hard palate. Diba? We have the soft palate and the hard palate. The hard palate, kung makikita nyo dito, nasa anterior part. And the soft palate, nasa posterior part ng roof of the mouth or the floor of the nose. Nakaka-follow? Hard palate and soft palate. Okay. So specifically, yung hard palate ninyo, no, we have the palatine process of the maxilla bone and the horizontal plate of the palatine bone, no? Yung bumubuo dyan sa hard palate. So this acts as a divider, no, yung hard palate between the nasal cavity, this is the nasal cavity, and the oral cavity. So between the nasal cavity and the oral cavity, we have your hard palate, the floor of the inferior wall of the nasal cavity. Kaya hindi naghahalo yung pagkain sa yung hangin. May separation sila. And that's it. That's your hard palate and the soft palate. Or specifically, the hard palate per se. Okay? And then, we have the medial wall, also known as our nasal septum. So, this divides naman the nasal cavity into right and left. No? So, ano yung mga komposisyon ng inyong nasal septum? Septum, we have the perpendicular plate of ethmoid sa taas. We have the vomer, yung buto, and the septal cartilage. No, this is the septal cartilage, the perpendicular plate of ethmoid, and the vomer bone. No, nandiyan naman sa screen, sa picture. No? So clinically, sabi nila, kapag nagkaroon ng deviation, no, nagkaroon ng problem doon sa septum, pwede daw po magkaroon ng breathing difficulty ang pasyente. Okay? Next, we have the lateral wall of the nasal cavity. So, mas maraming laman yung lateral wall. Okay? Number 1, we have your conchae or your turbinate. So, kapag sinabing conchae or turbinates, sila yung mga curved, yung mga rolled na buto inside the nasal cavity. No? These are curved or rolled bones inside the nasal cavity. Tatlo sila. We have the superior turbinate, we have the middle turbinate, and the inferior turbinate. So, anong function nila? Very important to increase surface area. Ulit, ang function ng conchae turbinate is to increase surface area. Okay? Para ngayon, mas maging efficient yung warming, yung filtering, yung moistening of air. Mas maraming air ang pumasok. Increasing surface area. Malinaw po yun. Conchae turbinate. Okay. Actually, between your turbinates, we have your meiatosis. No, yung space between, we have your meiatosis. O din superior, middle, and inferior, meatus ka din between your turbinates. Okay? Next, we have your meatus. Ito yung sinasabi ni Sir kanina. No? The spaces below and between each concha. No? Number 1, we have your superior meatus. Between the superior and middle concha, we have the superior meatus. So, located yan below the superior concha and nagde-drain sila ng posterior ethmoid sinus. Bakit? Tandaan ninyo, under each turbinate, meron siyang spaces. Sabi natin meatus. Yung mga meatus na yan, anong function nila? They act as a passageway and drainage areas for sinuses. Okay? Drainage area for sinuses. Passageway and drainage areas for sinuses. In this case, sa superior meatus, meron daw po siyang dinidrain na sinus. Ang dinidrain niyang sinus is the posterior ethmoidal sinus. Nasa PowerPoint naman pala. Posterior ethmoidal sinus. Okay? And then, next we have the middle and the inferior meatus. So, middle meatus, dito naman, nagdi-drain yung maraming structures. No? We have the anterior ethmoidal air sinus, middle ethmoidal air sinus, maxillary air sinus, frontal air sinus. Tandaan, si anterior ethmoidal air sinus sila sa unahan ng ethmoid bone. Okay? Sinus na makikita anteriorly or unahan ng ethmoid bone. The middle ethmoidal air sinus, sila naman po yung sinus sa gitnang bahagi ng ethmoid. Kaya nga middle. Okay? Maxillary air sinus, maxilla, pinakamalaking sinus sa matatagpuan saan? Sa pisngi. No? Sa maxillary bone. Maxillary air sinus. Kasi mga sinuses ninyo makikita yun sa mga buto. Okay? And then we have the frontal air sinus, no? Nasa taas ng mata, nasa harap ng noo mismo. No? So kapag may sinusitis kayo, madalas nagkakaroon ng blockage diyan, no? Sinusitis. And then we have your inferior meatus na located naman below the inferior concha. Below the inferior concha, we have the inferior meatus. So dito naman daw dumadaan si nasolacrimal duct. From the word naso, lacrimal. Naso, nose, lacrimal duct. Ang lacrima, nagpuproduce ng tears. Kaya pala pag umiiyak ka, tumutulo din yung ilong mo. No? Kasi may connection tayo between the eyes and the nose. Malinaw po yung meatuses natin. Proceed tayo. Okay. Next, we have your sphenoethmoidal recess. Okay? So, para saan ito? Sabi daw po, this is located, no, above the superior concha. So, above the superior concha, meron kayo tinatawag na sphenoethmoidal recess. No? Sphenoethmoidal recess. So, from the word sphenoethmoidal, between the ethmoid bone and the sphenoid sinus. Or sphenoid bone. Okay? Sphenoidal air sinus. Sphenoethmoidal recess. So, dito daw po nagde-drain yung sphenoidal sinus ninyo. So, if you notice, yung nasal cavity niyo, hindi lang siya hollow space. No? It is actually highly specialized. No? Designed sila sa filtering, sa warming, moistening of air, and even supports your smell and sinus drainage. Yun ang ginagawa ng inyong nasal cavity. And then we have your another important structure, your paranasal sinuses. Pag sinabing paranasal sinuses, yan mo yung mga air-filled spaces. Space sila na merong air, no, located within the bones of the skull and the face. Take note, yung mga paranasal sinuses ninyo are asymmetrical. No, meaning, hindi pare-pareho yung sizes and shape. Asymmetrical ang mga paranasal sinuses. Pero they are paired. No? Kung meron ka sa left, meron ka sa right. Asymmetrical sila, pero meron tayong mga paired sinuses. So, may mga different types of paranasal sinuses. Let's go through them one by one. Number one, we have the maxillary sinuses. Sabi natin, maxillary sinus is the largest sinus located behind the cheeks. Si maxilla is the cheekbone. Okay? We also have your ethmoidal sinus. Ito yung maxillary sinus. No? So, we have your ethmoidal sinus naman. Ethmoidal, frontal pala. Frontal sinus muna tayo. Located above the eyes and the forehead. This is your frontal sinus. Kasi frontal bone na to eh. Tama? And then, we have your ethmoidal sinus. Ethmoidal sinus located naman po saan? Between the eyes. Okay? Group siya ng mga small air cells, tapos located between the eyes. No? That's your ethmoidal sinus. Parami sila. No? Parang grupo daw po ng small air cells, no? Located between the eyes. And then, we have your sphenoid sinus. O, di ba your sphenoid bone, dito naman makikita yan. So the sphenoid sinus, these are deeper, no? Located behind the ethmoid and closer to the brain. Okay? Also, pakitandaan, these sinuses, no, are lined with epithelium that contains mucous glands. Okay? Epithelium that contains mucous glands. Bakit? Ibig sabihin, they produce mucus. So, normal lang yon. Part of their function is to produce mucus, your paranasal sinuses. Kasi meron silang mga mucous glands. No? Epithelial layer with mucous glands. Malinaw po ang inyong paranasal sinuses. Okay. And then, what are the functions? No? Ano bang purpose ng sinuses? Bakit sila nandiyan? Number one, it lightens the bones of the skull. No? So instead the solid bone lahat, may air spaces kasi. Kaya hindi ganun kabigat ang ulo. So kapag inflamed sila, no? Inflamed ang sinuses, ano mararamdaman mo? Head heaviness or headache. Kaya pala kapag may sinusitis ka, sumasakit ang ulo mo. No? Kasi bumibigat ang ulo. No? Kasi nga, one part or function, purpose ng sinus is to lighten the bones of the skull. Hindi sila as mabigat. Kasi nga, may spaces air spaces dun sa buto. No? That's your sinuses. And number two, mucus production. Sabi natin kanina, line sila with epithelium with mucous glands. No? Di ba alam natin ang mucus, they trap dust, they filter particles, and they keep the air moist. So kapag excessive naman, no, excessive ang nangyari, nagkaroon ng sinusitis ulit, no, inflammation, excessive ngayon ng mucus production, nagkakaroon tayo ng runny nose or congestion, di kayo makahinga. No? Yun ang nangyayari. And last one, we have your voice resonance. No? They act as resonating chambers for sound. No? So meaning they help amplify and improve the quality of our voices. Kaya kapag barado ang sinuses, ano nangyayari? Nagiging ngongo. No, nagiging ngongo, nagkakaroon ng nasal sounding yung voice ng mga pasyenteng may sinusitis. May problem, parado yung sinus. Malinaw po? Okay. Mabilis ba si sir? Okay lang yung bilis? Okay lang. So let's connect this to what we discussed earlier, no? Your meatosis. So each sinus drains into specific parts of the nasal cavity. Di ba sabi natin ang meatus, space sila, nag-drain din sila ng sinuses. Tama? So your maxillary sinus, pakitandaan, it opens or it drains into the middle meatus. Same with your frontal sinus. It also drains in the middle meatus. Pero your ethmoid sinus, dalawa. No, we have your posterior part of the superior meatus and the anterior and middle parts doon sa middle meatus. Ulit, ang ethmoid sinus, superior meatus, posterior part. Pero, no, meron tayong middle meatus na anterior and middle parts. And lastly, we have your sphenoid sinus. So they drain into the sphenoethmoidal recess, no, between the sphenoid bone and the ethmoid, yung pinakita natin kanina. So clinically important po sila because kapag may blockage sa drainage, doon sisimula ang infection. Okay? Malinaw po tayo dito sa drainage ng meatuses. Sino po yung mga nagde-drain sa middle meatus kanina? Sino po nagde-drain sa middle meatus? So yung nag-drain na sinus sa middle meatus, maxillary and frontal. Actually, pareha din si ethmoid. Di ba sabi natin si ethmoid, pareha. Superior meatus and middle meatus. No? Tatlo. Maxillary sinus, frontal sinus, ethmoid sinus. Pero pinagkaiba, si ethmoid sinus, dalawa kanya. Nag-drain siya into the superior and the middle meatus. Kakaiba sa sphenoid sinus kasi nag-drain siya saan? Sa sphenoethmoidal recess. Malinaw po yun? Okay. Next, we have your clinical correlation, sinusitis. No? Ba't ba tayo nagkakaroon ng sinusitis? Dahil daw po, syempre, from the word itis, inflammation ng alin? Paranasal sinuses. Usually, ano bang causes, no, ng inyong sinusitis? Usually, nagkaroon ng viral infection, bacterial infection, or even allergies. Kapag daw po inflamed, no, ang nangyayari, naiipon yung mucus because hindi siya makalabas properly. Kasi nga masikip no? Inflamed, namamaga. So ano mga sintomas ang makikita ninyo? No? Headache or heaviness of the head, nabanggit natin kanina, nasal congestion, barado yung ilong nila, and nasal voice, no? Parang ngongo yung pasyenteng may sinusitis. Sir, kapag po ba may sinusitis, nagre-require po ba ng antibiotics? Kasi may inflammation eh. No? Actually, if it is allergic or viral in nature, usually, supportive care lang daw po yung kailangan. Hindi na tayo kailangan uminom ng antibiotics kapag sinusitis. Okay? So overall, yung paranasal sinuses ninyo are not just empty spaces, ha? No? Kasi they play roles in weight reduction of the head, may air conditioning sila, and even voice quality. But at the same time, no, they are prone to blockages and inflammation, leading now to most common condition like your sinusitis. Now, let's move on to your pharynx. So very important structure yan kasi ito po yung connection between the respiratory and the digestive system. No? Actually, your pharynx is a musculomembranous tube. Ibig sabihin, composed siya ng muscle tapos mucous membrane. And function-wise, no, sabi natin kanina, this is a common pathway for food and air. Parehas na pagkain at hangin ang dumadaan. No? So, dito dumadaan yung kinakain natin, also yung hinihinga natin na air. Location-wise, no, sabi daw po, it extends from the base of the skull down to the level of C6 vertebra or cricoid cartilage. And it runs from the choanine, no, which is the back of the nasal cavity, down to the esophageal inlet. Sabi natin, between the nasal cavity and the pharynx, we have your choanine. Choanine is your internal nares or internal opening or posterior nares, choanine. So parang vertical passage siya from the nose area down to the throat. Okay? Your pharynx, sabi natin, is subdivided into three based on location. We have the nasopharynx, the oropharynx, and your laryngopharynx. Nasopharynx, from the word naso, it is behind the nasal cavity. Nasopharynx is behind the nasal cavity. Oropharynx is behind the oral cavity naman. And the laryngopharynx, laryngo, no, behind the larynx. So, anong dumadaan sa nasopharynx? Sabi natin, pharynx, food, and air. Anong dumadaan sa nasopharynx? May pagkain mo dumadaan dyan? Air lang, very good. So, only air makikita sa nasopharynx, and sa oro and laryngopharynx, ano makikita mong dumadaan dyan? Oro and laryngo, air and food, very good. So, nasopharynx, air, oro and laryngopharynx, food and air. Malinaw yung difference between the different types or regions of the pharynx. Also, meron tayong mga important locations or connections, no? Sabi daw, between the oral cavity and the oropharynx. Between the oral cavity and oropharynx. May tinatawag na fauces. The connection between the opening or connection between the oral cavity and the oropharynx is called fauces. Okay? On the other hand, the connection between the naso and oropharynx, connection between naso and oropharynx is known as your pharyngeal isthmus. Okay? Between the oral cavity and the oropharynx, may opening doon. Ang tawag doon, fauces. Yung connection between the nasopharynx and oropharynx, no? That's your pharyngeal isthmus. Malinaw. Okay. So, let's discuss or let's start with the nasopharynx. So, sabi natin, exclusive lang siya for air passageway. No? So, hangin lang talagang dumadaan dyan, hindi pagkain. So, located siya behind the nasal cavity, kaya nga nasopharynx, nasonose, behind the nasal cavity. So, ano mga important structures dito? Number one, we have your pharyngotympanic tube or your eustachian tube. Sure, parang familiar na discuss natin yan dun sa last part ng midterms, no? Special senses, dun sa ear. Diba? Alam natin sa eustachian tube, saan makikita yan? Sa middle ear. So meaning, your pharyngotympanic tube or eustachian tube connects the nasopharynx and your middle ear. Ulit. Your pharyngotympanic tube, eustachian tube, connects the nasopharynx to the middle ear. Okay? So anong function yan? No? Sabi daw po, the function is to equalize pressure. Kaya di ba kapag nasa airplane ka, parang nagpa-pop yung ears mo dahil dyan. No? So to equalize the pressure, we have your pharyngotympanic tube or eustachian tube, the connection between nasopharynx to the middle ear. Next one, we have your torus tubarius. Yan daw po yung parang nakausling parte, no, dun sa opening ng eustachian tube. Torus tubarius, it is the raised area around the opening of the eustachian tube, nakausling parte ng eustachian tube. Yung tubal tonsils naman, on the other hand, from the word tonsil, tonsils are for immunity. So, tubal tonsils, yan po yung mga immune tissue around the torus tubarius. Malinaw po yung unang tatlong structure. Okay. And then we have your salpingopharyngeal fold, no? Salpingopharyngeal fold. So, from the word fold, fold na yan, or fold of mucosa extending down from the torus tubarius, pababa, no? Fold of mucosa extending downward from the torus tubarius, pababa. Your pharyngeal recess naman, on the other hand, deep space yan, no? Kung saan, no, dyan daw po nag-o-occur, nag-develop yung inyong nasopharyngeal cancer. No? Kasi meron kayong mga tinatawag na nasopharyngeal pharyngeal cancer, no? Malignancy. Saan siya nag-o-occur, nag-develop sa pharyngeal recess. Okay? And we have, syempre, yung pharyngeal tonsils, no? So, sabi natin, pharyngeal tonsils is also known as your adenoids. Pharyngeal tonsils are also known as your adenoids. So these are immune tissues naman located sa roof of the nasopharynx. May mga tonsils tayo sa pharynx ninyo. So your adenoids, pharyngeal tonsils are located inside the nasopharynx. The nasopharynx. And next, we have your oropharynx. So sabi natin, oropharynx is a shared passageway. Both food and air dumadaan dito. And it is located behind the mouth. It's yung oral cavity, behind the mouth. So ano mga important structures, key structures located in this area? Now we have the posterior third of the tongue, yung likurang bahagi ng dila, no, kasama yan sa oropharynx. Your vallecula, pag sinabing vallecula, may small space ka between the tongue and the epiglottis. The small space between the tongue and the epiglottis, no, that's your vallecula. Minsan, no, yung vallecula, dyan po yung area kung saan naiipon yung saliva or foreign objects, no, your vallecula. Naiipon sa saliva or foreign objects kay vallecula, the small space between the tongue and the epiglottis. No? We also have your two tonsils, your lingual tonsils and palatine tonsils. Di ba tatlo naman tonsils natin? We have your pharyngeal tonsil, the lingual tonsil, and the palatine tonsil. Saan makikita kanina si pharyngeal tonsil? Pharyngeal tonsil, saan makikita? Nasopharynx, very good. Pero, the lingual tonsil and the palatine tonsils are located in the or at the oropharynx. Diba, sabi natin kapag lingual tonsil, from the word lingual, nasa tongue. No, meaning it is located, or tonsils located at the base of the tongue, at the base of the tongue. For palatine tonsils, on the other hand, no, these are the commonly known tonsils na nakikita natin sa throat, yung palatine tonsils. No, yan mismo, or yan yung usual yung tinatanggal. Oh, ang palatine tonsil, pakitandaan, it is located between, no, the palatoglossal, ano sa PowerPoint naman, palatoglossal and palatopharyngeal arches. So, the tonsil between the palatoglossal and palatopharyngeal arches is your palatine tonsils. Okay? Next, we have your uvula, yung nandyan sa may soft palate niyo, yung maliit na nakasabit sa gitna, no? Na tumutulong sa speech and swallowing, that's your uvula. And we have your palatoglossal arch and the palatopharyngeal fold, no? So these are folds daw po of tissue na nagde-define ng boundaries ng oropharynx, no? For the boundaries of oropharynx. And lastly, we have your laryngopharynx or your hypopharynx. Pag sinabing hypo pinakababa. Kasi siya yung lowest part of the pharynx, kaya siya tinawag na hypopharynx. So we have the nasopharynx, the oropharynx, and your hypopharynx or your laryngopharynx behind the larynx. Okay? So common passageway din siya ng food and air. Pero nagkakaroon na ng separation kasi anteriorly, we have your larynx kung saan yung air papasok. Posteriorly, the food goes to the esophagus. Okay, anteriorly, we have the larynx for the air, and for the food, we have posteriorly the esophagus. So dito na nagda-diverge yung respiratory and digestive pathways. Okay, malinaw po yung tatlo bago tayo mag-proceed. May question so far? Wala. So, clinical correlations, we have your allergic rhinitis, no? So, clinically, no, ano ba mga cause ng allergic rhinitis? O, nakalagay naman, allergic rhinitis due to allergic reaction, not infection. Okay, allergic reaction, not infection. So, ano mga common triggers? Dust, pollen, yung mga animal danders ninyo. So, anong symptoms? No? Sneezing, no, bumabahing, itchy nose and eyes, makate, coughing, and sometimes may headache. So, overreaction yan ng immune system kaya kayo nagkakaroon ng allergic rhinitis, not due to bacteria or virus. No? Overreaction na ng immune system. So, allergic reaction ng allergic rhinitis. Okay? Another one, we have our nasopharyngeal tumor. No? So, this is a cancer located sa nasopharynx behind the nose. No? Usually, nagsa-start yung manifestations or nagpo-form sila from the pharyngeal tonsils or adenoids. Diba? As we discussed earlier, the pharyngeal tonsils or adenoids is located at the nasopharynx. So, nag-start sila sa pharyngeal tonsils or adenoids, tapos nagkaroon tayo ng nasopharyngeal tumor. So, ano mga possible symptoms natin? Nasal obstruction, nagkakaroon ng nose bleeding, no? Nagkakaroon ng mass dun sa leeg nila, kasi nga may tumor. Minsan nagkakaroon ng hearing problem, kasi nga sabi natin nasopharynx is connected sa inyong middle ear and difficulty swallowing, syempre. So, very important po yung early detection, no? Kaya nga importante din may mga tonsils natin, kasi pag inflamed yan, meaning there is infection or tumor, may problem. Okay? And then, we have our acute exudative tonsillopharyngitis, no? Acute infection of the pharynx and the tonsils, no? Infection of the pharynx and the tonsils. So, ano mga symptoms yan? Sore throat, no? Hirapan sila mag-swallow, no? Dysphagia is difficulty swallowing, nagsuswollen yung mga lymph nodes nila sa neck kasi nga may infection. Since may infection, nagkakaroon ng fever, no? And presence of exudate, yung parang white coating sa tonsils, no? Yung mga ganyan. Yung mga white coating sa tonsils, nagkakaroon ng ganyan po dyan. No? So this is usually infectious, ha? It can be viral or bacterial kapag acute exudative tonsillopharyngitis. So inflammation ng tonsil and pharynx. Okay? So let's proceed to your larynx. Okay? So the larynx is mas kilala bilang voice box. No? So basically, this is the upper expanded part of the trachea. Kasi below the larynx, where we can found your trachea. So siya yung connection between the pharynx and the trachea. The connection between the pharynx and the trachea, that's your larynx. Okay? So siya yung connection nilang dalawa. So function-wise, tatlo ang pinaka-importante. Primarily, the function of your voice box, larynx, is voice production. So dito nang gagaling yung boses natin, no? Voice production. Kasi nandiyan ang vocal folds ninyo, vocal cords, no? Your number 2, airway protection. Kasi para siyang sphincter yung inyong larynx na siya yung nagpe-prevent ng entering ng food sa airway. Di ba sabi natin, kay laryngopharynx, after nun, nahahati na sa dalawa. We have the larynx and the esophagus. Esophagus for the food, larynx for the air. So para siyang sphincter, yung inyong larynx. Hindi niya hayaan na pumasok sino? Yung food doon sa airway. Kasi magkakaroon tayo ng asphyxia, mabubulunan ka. Malinaw po yun? Okay. So structurally, yung larynx niyo, cartilaginous framework, no? Cartilage. And actually, there are total of 9 cartilages. Sir, bakit 9 cartilages? Kasi tatlong unpaired, tatlong paired. Pag tatlong paired, ilan yon? 6. So 6 plus 3, 9 cartilages. Okay? So next, location-wise ng inyong larynx, so sabi daw po, no, it extends from C4 to C6. Mas ano siya, mas maikli as compared to pharynx. Kasi sabi natin si pharynx, umabot hanggang C6 eh. Tama? Cricoid. Tapos sa taas siya, nasa nose nga siya eh. Nose papuntang C6. So superiorly, sabi daw po, the larynx, nakakabit siya sa isang buto, that's your hyoid bone. Posteriorly, sa likod, no, nag-open siya into the laryngopharynx. And inferiorly rather, sa baba niya, it continues to become the trachea. So imagine niyo nasa gitna siya ng neck, no, critical for both breathing and speaking, yung inyong larynx. So let's discuss your unpaired cartilages. So we have your number 1, the thyroid cartilage. Anong mnemonic niyo dyan ulit? Dun sa unpaired cartilages? Saka sa paired. Diba sa paired, pare, aren't, corns, cute. Kapag po unpaired, you what? Ano? May kausap pa ba si sir? May nasagot ba? You try what? You try a different position. Iba yan. Epic crying. Diba? You try epic crying. Pare arid corns cute, you try epic crying. Diba? Unpaired ng unpaired, thyroid, try, epiglottis, and cricoid, crying. So let's discuss your thyroid. Your thyroid, no, is the largest, no? Largest cartilage of the larynx. Okay? And anong shape niya? Shield-shaped. No? Para daw po siyang open book yung inyong thyroid. Kasi yung thyroid ito eh. Yan yung thyroid. Para siyang open book yung thyroid, the largest cartilage of the larynx. So, prominent structure siya sa harap called the laryngeal prominence, no? Meron siyang ridge doon, no, na tinatawag na laryngeal prominence or mas kilala bilang Adam's apple. Okay, your thyroid cartilage is the Adam's apple, no, yung laryngeal prominence niya, largest cartilage. And then we have your cricoid cartilage, no, below the thyroid. Below the thyroid, we have your cricoid cartilage, no? At the level of C6, sabi natin kanina, 'di ba? So yung shape niya para siyang signet ring daw, meaning narrow in front pero wider yung likod, no? Narrow yung front pero wider yung likuran, yung parang signet ring. So this provides strong support daw po and connects the larynx towards the trachea. Okay? So yung pinakamababa, the lowest or lowermost, inferiormost cartilage of the larynx, that's your cricoid. Kasi siya na yung ko-connect kay trachea afterwards. This is your larynx, this is the trachea. So anong connection nila? Cricoid cartilage. And then we have your epiglottis. So epiglottis is very important kasi tinatawag natin siyang guardian of the airway, no? The guardian of the airways. So, siya po yung only made up of elastic cartilage. Sa lahat ng larynx or laryngeal cartilages, siya lang po yung elastic cartilage kasi unlike others na hyaline cartilage na po. So, kapag humihinga tayo, syempre, ang epiglottis, naka-open, naka-close. Pag humihinga tayo, naka-open, syempre, kasi gusto mo pumasok ang hangin dyan. Diba? So ngayon, naka-open dapat ang epiglottis paghihinga. Pero during swallowing, no, nagfo-fold siya pababa, downward to cover the airway. Pinipigilan niya yung pagpunta ng pagkain sa lungs. Okay, kaya nga di ba sabi, guardian of the airways. That's your epiglottis. Okay? So next, we have the paired cartilages. Number 1, we have your arytenoid. This is the most important among the paired cartilages. Bakit? Kasi dito po nakakabit yung mga vocal cords niyo. Meaning, sila po yung responsible for the movement needed in the speech production or phonation, the arytenoid. So yung pinaka-importante sa lahat ng paired cartilages due to its function to your phonation. Okay? Next, we have our corniculate cartilage. No? So these are small cartilages daw po found in the aryepiglottic fold. So tumutulong sila sa opening and closing ng laryngeal inlet. Your corniculate cartilage. Okay? And lastly, we have your cuneiform cartilage na located naman sa apex ng arytenoid cartilage. No? The apex of the arytenoid cartilage, that's your cuneiform cartilage. Okay? Apices. So, para sa cuneiform cartilage? They support and stabilize the laryngeal structure naman. They support and stabilize the laryngeal structures. Okay? And then, let's proceed to the vocal cords. Di ba sabi natin, the larynx has your vocal cords. So, these are found along the laryngeal mucosa. So, actually, we have two types. We have your vestibular folds and the vocal folds. Pag sinabing vestibular folds, this is your vestibular folds. This is your false vocal cords. Vestibular folds. Your vocal folds, on the other hand, this is now your true vocal cords. Tandaan ha, huwag malilito. Kapag vestibular fold, false vocal cords. Pag vocal folds, true vocal cords. So para saan sila? Sound production happens, no? Actually, during passage of air. Bakit tayo nagkakaroon ng sound production? Kasi merong dumaan na hangin. Kung walang dadaan na hangin, wala tayong boses, walang sound na mag-produce, no? So kapag po dumaan ng hangin, no, from the lungs passes through, no, and then nagkakaroon tayo ng vibration ng vocal cords. So meaning without airflow, walang sound. Okay? And paano ba nagkakaroon ng sound production? Due to the movement of your intrinsic laryngeal muscles. No? Pero kasi tayong intrinsic muscle of larynx. Na connected kanino? Kaninong cartilage? Arytenoid. Di ba sabi natin, arytenoid is the most important cartilage, paired cartilage, kasi connected sa kanya yung mga vocal cords natin. Specifically, your intrinsic muscle of the larynx. Kasi meron tayong mga movement of the intrinsic muscles. Para ngayon, mag-close or mag-open yung inyong, either mag-close or mag-open yung inyong mga vocal cords. Now, for example, we have your posterior cricoarytenoid muscle. No? It opens the airway. No? Meaning this is abduction. Okay, nag-abduct daw po yung vocal cords kapag po nag-contract yung posterior cricoarytenoid muscle ninyo. No? Ganyan nangyayari sa kanya. Malinaw po yun sa vocal cords. May question? Okay. Ito yung mga different parts of the vocal fold and vocal cords. So, makita niyo, vocal cords in this picture is closed, and in this picture it is open. Okay? So So let's proceed to the vestibular folds, also known as your false vocal cords, no, located above the true vocal cords. So ang false vocal cords, above siya ng true vocal cords. No? Nakakabit sila sa harap, meron tayong angle of thyroid cartilage sa ilalim ng epiglottis, and sa posteriorly, we have the arytenoid cartilage sa taas ng vocal process. Nandiyan naman sa PowerPoint. So, baka siya tinawag na false vocal cord kasi it does not produce sound. Kaya nga false. So, para saan lang siya? The function nila is mainly for protection and regulation of airflow. Kasi they are relatively constant or fixed. Hindi sila active sa movement for speech. No? So, ang inyong false vocal cord does not produce sound. Ang function lang nila, protection and regulation of airway. Kasi hindi naman sila actively nag-move during speech production. Okay? And your true vocal cords, also known as your vocal folds, no? These are the main structures for voice production. Kaya nga true, no? Meaning movable sila and they vibrate when air passes through. Sila ngayon yung responsible sa speech and phonation. So nagva-vibrate sila kapag dumadaan yung hangin, gumagawa ngayon ng tunog or boses. No? That's your vocal folds. Malinaw po ang ating vocal folds and vocal cords. Asan na siya? Okay. So, inside the larynx, sabi natin, meron tayong dalawang pairs of folds. No? Number one, we have your vestibular fold. Sino ulit sa vestibular fold? Your false vocal cords. So siya, fixed, sabi natin. No? Protection lang siya. No? Kasi di siya nagpo-produce ng sound. Pero, meron tayong tinatawag na space between the vestibular folds. Tandaan ninyo, the space between the vestibular folds, it is called your rima vestibuli. Okay, rima vestibuli. Kasi mamaya, between the true vocal cords, meron din tayong space. No? Bago yan, your vocal folds, sabi natin, is your true vocal cords. Movable sila and responsible for sound production. And yung space dito between the two true vocal cords is your rima glottidis. Okay? So clinically, kapag nagnanarrow yung rima glottidis niyo, pwede daw po magkaroon ng breathing difficulty. Okay? Malinaw? So makita niyo ito, vestibular fold ninyo. Ang vocal cord niyo, true vocal cord, ito, yung nasa gitna. Okay? This is false. This is true vocal cord. Sinulit po yung between the false vocal cords. Space between false vocal cords. Sino yun? Rima vestibuli. Very good. Diba? Ang other name ni false vocal cords, vestibular folds. O from the word vestibular folds, rima vestibuli. Pero between the true vocal cords, sino po yung makikita nyo space doon? Space between the true vocal cords. Rima glottidis. No? Rima glottidis. Okay, pakitandaan po yun ha. Baka lumabas. And then, let's proceed to the laryngeal cavity regions. We have our vestibule, the middle region, and the lower region. So, anong difference? Okay? So, the vestibule, siya po yung nanggaling sa laryngeal inlet hanggang vestibular folds. So, para siyang entrance lang ng larynx. Okay? Your middle region naman is between the vestibular and the vocal folds. No? Sabi nga natin, may small space dyan called the laryngeal ventricle. Okay? Between the vestibular fold and the vocal folds. Meaning, between the true and false vocal cords, may space. Ang tawag, laryngeal ventricle. Malinaw. So, ulitin natin. Between true vocal cords, meron tayong rima, pedis. Between false vocal cords, we have rima, vestibuli. Pero between the true and false, we have your laryngeal ventricle. Malinaw. Okay? So next, we have your lower region. No? Lower region, syempre, below na yan ang vocal folds ninyo. So clinically, sabi daw po, your lower region is the site for laryngotomy. Pag sinabing laryngotomy, omi, ano yung omi? Inaalis. No? Laryngotomy. Malinaw? The common site of laryngotomy is your lower region. Also, kung babalikan niyo yung picture, actually, ang inyong larynx kasi, we have your vestibule here, di ba? Sabi natin, this is your laryngeal vestibule. Sa baba, we have your infraglottic space. Infraglottic space. Yan po yung space bago ka magpunta sa trachea. Kasi ito na yung trachea niya, di ba? So yung space dito, tinatawag niya infraglottic space. This is your vestibule. This is your infraglottic space prior to the trachea. Okay? Malinaw tayo bago tayo mag-proceed sa trachea. Okay. Kaya pa? Konti na lang naman. So next, no? Sabi natin, yung larynx ninyo is not just for voice. Critical sila for airway protection, breathing, and communication. So as PTs, no, as physical therapists, future physical therapists, importante yan, especially when we handle patients na may airway problems, may voice issues, o kaya na may post-intubation cases. Sir, post-intubation cases. Tandaan niyo, the most common site of intubation is trachea. Pero the emergency site of intubation, yung tubo, di ba pag kinakabit, tinutubuhan ng pasyente, intubation is your larynx. Okay, the emergency site. So let's move down to the larynx towards the trachea, or mas kilala bilang windpipe, no? So this is the main airway that carries air papunta sa lungs. Structurally, sabi daw po, your trachea is a cylindrical tube, cylinder, parang flexible straw kumbaga, no? The length is around 4 to 5 inches or 10 to 12 centimeters, and ang diameter around or about 2.5 cm. So sakto lang yung size niya to allow efficient airflow papunta sa lungs. We have your trachea. Okay, this is the larynx, and then we have your trachea. Actually, no, one of the most important features of trachea is its support system, no? Kasi ang ganda lang ng support system ng trachea. It is composed of 16 to 20 C-shaped or U-shaped rings of hyaline cartilage. Para saan yan? No, kasi yung rings na yan, very important daw. May very important function siya. Ang very important function ng inyong C-shaped rings is to keep the airway open and prevent collapse. Okay? Prevent collapse. Kasi rigid yan. So yung nagbibigay ng stiffness ng inyong trachea, yung U-shaped cartilages na yan. No? Or C-shaped cartilages na yan. No? 16 to 20. Okay? Pero take note ha, hindi siya complete circle. Hindi siya complete circle kasi sabi U-shape or C-shape eh. Meaning open siya. Saan siya open? Anterior, posterior. Kung C-shape. Tingin nyo, saan siya open? Anterior, posterior. Posterior part. No? Kasi, ano mga nasa likod ng trachea? Anong structure nasa likod ng trachea? Doon dumadaan yung pagkain. Sa likod ng trachea, makikita niyo sino? Si esophagus, tama? Sa likod ng trachea, nandun si esophagus. Kapag lumulunok kayo, or tayo, ako rin, lumulunok ako, syempre, kumakain tayo. Pag kumakain tayo, lulunok kayo ng pagkain. Sa trachea, nag-expand ba yun? Ay, trachea. The esophagus, nag-expand ba yun? Ang esophagus? Opo. Yes. No? In order to prevent or allow the expansion of the esophagus, kailangan flexible yung posterior part ng trachea. Kasi yun yung direct in contact with the esophagus. Kaya dapat C-shape. So meaning the anterior part of the trachea is rigid or stiff, no, to prevent collapse. Pero the posterior part of the trachea is flexible. Kasi wala ka dong cartilage. Kasi nga C-shape lang ang cartilage ring eh. Okay? Pero sa likuran, may makikita kang muscle. Sinong muscle yon? Ang muscle na makikita mo is your trachealis muscle. Okay? Sa likuran. Between, no, the trachea and the esophagus. Kasi yung muscle daw na yan, tumutulong ma-adjust yung diameter ng trachea, especially during coughing. Pero tandaan, your trachea is composed of cartilages. Yun ang main support niya, not muscle. Tingin nyo bakit hindi muscle dapat? Tingin nyo bakit hindi muscle? Bakit cartilage? The muscle is contracting, tama? Sabi natin, cartilage is rigid. Hindi mo nagko-contract yan eh. Static stabilizer yan, cartilage yan eh. Tama? Kasi kung for example, naging pure muscle ang inyong trachea, ano mangyayari? Magko-contract yan. Kapag nagko-contract ang trachea, pwede niya ma-block yung airway. Kaya hindi pwedeng muscle yung trachea. Kaya nga siya ginawang cartilage. Malinaw po? Okay. So location-wise, ang trachea daw po starts at C6 up to the end of T5. No? So at the lower end, it divides the two primary bronchi, one for each lang. So meron kang right and left primary or main bronchi. So the function of your trachea, so it serves as a passageway for air from the upper respiratory tract papunta sa lungs. Yun po yung main function niya, passageway, no, of air from the upper respiratory tract papunta sa lungs. Sinahat niya sa dalawa. Diba? We have your bronchi. So from the trachea, we move to the bronchi. So these are the large airways that carry air into the lungs. So yung trachea ninyo, no, nadi-divide yan at the level of the sternal angle of Louis, no, yung part ng sternum, 'di ba? Into the right and the left bronchi. And this branching system is called your bronchial tree. Kasi para siyang puno na inverted, pabaliktad. Bronchial tree. So right and left bronchi, primary bronchi. So your primary pulmonary bronchi, these are the first branches from the trachea. Sa trachea yung magiging trunk mo eh. No, this is the trachea. We have here your main bronchus, the right and the left. So it goes to the right lung and one to the left lung. And then, mababranch out sila into lobes, lobular bronchi. Tatlong lobe. So meaning tatlong lobar bronchi sa right and dalawang lobar bronchi sa left. And tertiary or segmental bronchi, yung mga segments na ng lung. No, mahahati ka to supply the specific bronchopulmonary segments of the lung. Meron kang 10 sa right side na segmental, meron kang 8 segmental sa left side. Okay? So habang pababa ng pababa, yung airways natin becomes smaller and narrower. It becomes smaller and narrower at it goes deeper the lungs. Malinaw po to? Okay. So ulit natin, trachea, naging primary bronchi or main bronchus, nahati sa tatlo yung primary bronchus, yung right side, naging lobar, tatlong lobar. Okay? Yung left side, naging dalawang lobar. Pero sa right side, nahati yung lobar, naging 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. And then we have your segmental bronchus ng left side na 8. Malinaw po. Okay. Bago tayo pumunta dun sa susunod na slide, no? 'Di ba? Yung inyong sabi natin kanina from the trachea, no, it divides into primary bronchi. Yung site na to, no, etong site diyan, the point where the trachea divides into primary and primary bronchi, right and left. Yung ridge or keel between the two primary bronchi, ang tawag diyan, ano tawag diyan? Letter C. Andyan pa po ba kayo? Okay. So, ang tawag dyan, we have your carina. Diba? Yung ridge, yung keel, no, between the two bronchus, primary bronchus. Ay, hindi pala siya na ano dun sa screen. Ito, yan. We have your carina. Wherein, yung carina ninyo, di ba, marami ang cuff receptors. So, very sensitive area yan na kapag may foreign body, no, or kapag na-stimulate mo, nag-trigger ng strong cough reflex. No, nauubo ka. No, your carina. Kasi meron siyang marami, abundant, no, na cough receptors. Malinaw po? Okay. Next, we have your two bronchi. So, starting with the right bronchus. So, right bronchus, no, tandaan niyo, the right bronchus is much wider, stronger, or shorter, and more vertical. No? As compared to the left side. Di ba kapag nag-ano kayo, yung inverted na like sign. Tagal ng camera. Binuksan ko. Yan. Inverted na like sign. This is the right side. This is the left side. So the right side is more shorter, much wider, and more vertical. This is the trachea. This is the bronchi. Okay? As compared to the left side, na ang left side is, ano siya? Narrower, longer, more horizontal. Horizontal pag ganun ha. Vertical pataas. So pag ganito tatandaan ninyo kapag bronchus. Malinaw? Okay. So the right bronchus, sabi natin, the wider, shorter, and what? More vertical. So common na doon mapupunta yung foreign bodies kapag may na-aspirate. No? For example, hindi na pigilan ni guardian of airway, ipiglutis yung pagpasok ng certain foreign material dun sa lungs. No? Usually, sa right side po, pupunta yung large foreign bodies. Okay? Yung large foreign bodies. Pag nag-aspirate, or aspirate rather. Okay? So, common na pupunta yung foreign bodies sa right side due to the characteristic of the right bronchus. Wider, shorter, more vertical. Kung vertical yan, haba or pa tayo. O yun talaga magdidislodge yung foreign material sa right side. Malinaw yun? Malinaw po yun? Okay. O, may branches daw po tayo ng right bronchus. No? It gives off eparterial bronchus and hyparterial bronchi. Pag sinabing eparterial bronchus, no, it is above the pulmonary artery. Tandaan, above the pulmonary artery, unique lang yan sa right side. Kasi sa right side mo lang makikita yan, eparterial bronchus. Okay? Pero sa right side, dalawa, eparterial and hyperterial bronchus. Tandaan ha, dalawa. Pero eparterial bronchus only can be seen at the right side. Kaya siya unique doon. Above the pulmonary artery. Hyperterial bronchi, ito naman po, below the pulmonary artery. Okay, take note nyo muna yon. Yun muna take note nyo. Below the pulmonary artery, hyperterial. Malinaw yon? Okay. Next, sa left bronchus. O, kung kanina, yung characteristic ng right, anong characteristic ng right ulit? Right characteristic, right bronchus. Wider, shorter, hindi stronger. Shorter and more vertical. Okay, shorter and vertical. Very good. In this case, your left side is narrower, longer, and more horizontal. Okay, pahiga. Kaya hindi usually nagpupunta dyan, dislodge yung mga foreign body. So less likely pasukan niya ng foreign bodies or foreign materials. Okay? So anatomically, may important relationships ang left. No? Kasi we have the arch of the aorta na nagpapass over it. Ibig sabihin pumapailalim siya doon sa arch of aorta, yung left bronchus. So nasa taas niya. And yung descending thoracic aorta is behind it, behind the left bronchus, nasa likod ng left bronchus. Kaya makikita ninyo, ang left bronchus mas nakaipit or mas malapit sa mga ugat ng left bronchus compared to right bronchus. Okay? And take note, all branches here are hyparterial. Walang eparterial sa left. Okay? Hyparterial lang po sa left bronchus. Kasi sabi natin kanina, sa right side, both eparterial and hyparterial. Pero sa left side, only hyparterial bronchus. Malinaw po yun? Okay. Ito yung sasabi natin kanina. Yung right bronchus, mas wide, shorter. Sabi di ba, approximately, kapag shorter, approximately 2.5 centimeters daw po kapag specific na length ng inyong right bronchi, 2.5 cm approximately. The direction is mas vertical, meaning more prone to foreign body entry, ang right bronchus. The left bronchus mas narrow, longer kasi approximately 5 cm. Ulit natin, shorter kasi 2.5 cm lang siya approximately, longer kasi 5 cm approximately ang inyong left bronchi. No? More horizontal or oblique ang inyong left bronchus, meaning less siya to aspiration, no? Pagkaroon ng dislodging ng foreign body or foreign material. Unlike dito sa right bronchi na common to or prone to foreign body entry. Okay? So from trachea to bronchi, mapapansin ninyo na ang airway becomes more branched, no? More specialized as it goes deeper into the lungs. Na very important yan, especially in cases na nagkakaroon ng aspiration, nagkakaroon ng obstruction, or respiratory diseases ang pasyente. Okay? So pag tinanong kayo, kapag large, take note lang natin, kapag large objects ang na-dislodge, napunta, na-aspirate din sa lungs, usually mapupunta ito sa right primary bronchi. Pag sinabing primary, yan yung main bronchi. Pero pag small objects, pupunta pa rin yan sa right side kasi nga vertical pa rin yan pero smaller na siya. No? Di ba sabi natin hanggang bumababa as it goes deeper to the lungs, nagiging narrower saka smaller yung airway. So kapag small objects, usually sa right pa din pero lobar bronchi na. Okay, di ba after primary bronchi, lobar bronchi. Tapos after lobar bronchi, naging segmental bronchi and bronchioles na up to the alveoli. Nakaka-follow? Na-imagine ba? Okay. Okay? So, dito ka muna nag-start sa right kasi nga, ito tingnan nyo, mukha siyang shorter siya. This is more wider, mas makapal, and vertical. Unlike this, oblique or horizontal, longer and narrower. So kapag po na-dislodge, parang mali yung sa iba kasi, kasabay yung cursor ko. Yan. Kapag na-dislodge yung inyong foreign material dito sa trachea, saan siya pupunta usually? Siyempre dito sa may vertical, sa right side. So kapag large objects, ito sila saan? Sa right primary bronchi. Pero it could further go to right lobar bronchi kung smaller na yung object. Malinaw? Okay. So next, we have your terminal bronchioles. Okay? So we are getting closer, no, to the end of the conducting zone. Kasi ito yung end ng conducting zone eh, your terminal bronchioles. Last part na ng conducting zone. So important feature ng inyong ng terminal bronchioles rather is the club cells, also known as your Clara cells, no? Sabi daw, these are non-ciliated columnar cells. So anong ginagawa ng inyong mga Clara cells or club cells? No, they protect the lungs from the harmful substances like toxins or carcinogens, no? Yung pang kakaroon ng cancer. They produce also surfactant fluid, no, that helps reduce surface tension, and they act as stem cells, repairing now airway lining. So kahit wala pang gas exchange dito, very important na yung terminal bronchioles dahil sa cells na nandoon sa kanya for protection and maintenance of the lungs. Okay? Next one, we have the respiratory bronchioles. No? So from the terminal bronchioles, we enter now the respiratory bronchioles. This marks the start of the respiratory zone, your sinus. Okay? Pero ano ba yung key difference niya? Yung walls nila, may alveoli budding na. Okay? Ibig sabihin, parang maliliit na bulsa dun sa walls. And because of this alveoli budding dun sa walls ng inyong respiratory bronchioles, dito na nasisimula yung gas exchange. Okay? So, ang oxygen nagsa-start na mag-enter sa blood, tapos yung carbon dioxide starts leaving. No? So, tandaan, your respiratory bronchioles is the beginning of the sinus or the functional unit of the lungs. Naka-followed po dun sa terminal and respiratory bronchiole. Okay. And next, we have your alveolar ducts. Diba, alveolar ducts, small airways yan na nagko-connect ng respiratory bronchioles to the alveolar sacs. So they are lined daw po with smooth muscle pero walang cartilage. So meaning, mas flexible na sila and they help regulate airflow papunta sa alveoli. We also have your alveolar sacs naman, no? Sabi nga natin kanina, clusters of alveoli, kumpul-kumpul na ubas or grape-like yung itsura. So there are multiple alveoli grouped together, maximizing now the surface area for gas exchange. And lastly, we have your alveoli, the structural unit of the respiratory system. No? Importante yung alveoli kasi ito po yung mga tiny air sacs where your gas exchange really happens. So sa lungs, we have around 300 million alveoli, pero both lungs, 600 million. So that gives us about 70 square meters of surface area. So almost like para siyang tennis court, no? 70 square meters yung inyong alveoli. So imagine the efficiency of the gas exchange because malaki or huge yung surface area natin. Kaya po maganda yung gas exchange, efficient. No? Another key feature ng alveoli, yung walls daw ng alveoli are very thin, no? And lined sila with surfactant. So ano bang function ng surfactant? Di ba sabi natin to prevent collapse of the alveoli, especially during exhalation. So without surfactant, mahihirapan mag-expand yung lungs. And very thin yung inyong alveoli, yung lining of walls niya. Meaning kung thin yan, madali ang diffusion, no? Yung gas exchange. Kasi thin na lang, squamous na yung kanyang lining, flat, no? Malinaw po yon sa alveoli. Okay. Next, we have your capillaries and gas exchange. So surrounding the alveoli, we have capillaries, no? These are very small blood vessels, okay? Wherein this is where the actual gas exchange happens, no? Kung saan yung oxygen nagmo-move sa alveoli, from the alveoli papuntang blood, yung carbon dioxide nagmo-move from blood towards the alveoli. Okay? So very thin lang yung barrier between the air and the blood. Kaya nga nangyayari po yung diffusion. No, very efficient yung diffusion in this area. Okay? Now, punta naman tayo sa mga microscopic level, yung mga cells na involved sa gas exchange. So these are found in the respiratory membrane, particularly in the alveoli. Number 1, we have your type 1 pneumocytes. No? Sila po yung mga cells na mag-make up most of the alveolar walls. No? So, kaya nga, yung mga walls natin, simple squamous epithelium. Pag sinabing squamous, flat, meaning very thin. No? Bakit importante? Kasi kapag manifest sila, they allow rapid gas exchange. Okay? So dumadaan dito yung oxygen papuntang dugo, yung carbon dioxide palabas. So isipin ninyo, sila po yung main surface kung saan nangyayari yung diffusion. Your type 1 pneumocytes. Diba? Anong name ng type 1 pneumocytes? We have your mucin. Okay? Type 1 pneumocytes, mucin. And then we have your type 2. Ito very important, saka alam nyo itong type 2 kasi it secretes, no? Or these cells are responsible for producing surfactant. As we all know, your surfactant is a fluid na nagko-coat sa alveoli. Bakit nila kino-coat sa alveoli? Kasi ang function niya is reduce surface tension. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Pinipigilan niya na mag-collapse yung alveoli, especially during exhalation. And because of that, mas elastic, saka mas stable na yung lungs natin. Okay? Due to the presence of surfactant fluid. Due to the type 2 pneumocytes or respiratory cells. Okay? Di ba may condition tayo dyan sa fission ninyo? We have your respiratory distress syndrome. Respiratory distress syndrome. Ano nangyayari dyan? No? Na makikita yan sa mga premature na bata. So kulang sila sa surfactant, so nahihirapan mag-expand yung lungs, leading na to respiratory distress syndrome. So kapag nagkaroon kayo ng kulang na surfactant, nagkaroon ng lung collapse. Lung collapse medically, it is known as your, ang tawag sa lung collapse medical jargon. Letter A. Nandiyan pa ba kayo? Mukhang wala na. Thumbs up nga kung nandiyan pa. Nandiyan pa. 3 lang sila. Okay? Diba the medical jargon? Very good. That's atelectasis. The medical jargon for lung collapse is your atelectasis. So kapag nawalan ka ng surfactant fluid, no, or hindi nagpo-produce ang type 2 pneumocytes, walang surfactant, it could lead to atelectasis kapag matanda or bata. Pero kapag premature baby, no, ang tawag natin respiratory distress syndrome. Okay? And lastly, we have your alveolar macrophages. So from the word macrophage, dust cells, no? These are part of the immune defense or defense system, no? Kasi they act as the first line of defense in the lungs. Di ba sabi natin, the first line of defense is macrophages. Kasi readily available sila dun sa site of or organ or the tissue. Di ba? So anong ginagawa nila, no? Phagocytosis. They phagocytose or kinakain nila yung dust, yung bacteria, or other foreign particles. So kahit may nakalusot na particles, no, past the upper airway, these cells, your alveolar macrophages, help keep the lungs clean. Okay? So to summarize, yung respiratory membrane ninyo is not just a passive structure. No? Kasi composition sila ng mga specialized cells, no, that allow gas exchange, that maintain alveolar stability, preventing lung collapse, and they protect the lungs from infection, your alveolar macrophages. Okay? May question po ba so far bago tayo mag-proceed sa pleura? Okay. So pleura is the covering of the lungs, 'di ba? Your heart, we have your epicardium, 'di ba? Epicardium sa heart, pero dito sa lungs we have your pleura. So very important when we talk about lung movement. No? Yung pleura, dalawang layer lang siya ng serous membrane that covers the lungs. Ano yung dalawang layers na yan? We have your parietal pleura and the visceral pleura. Okay? So the parietal pleura, this lines the thoracic wall and also the superior surface of the diaphragm. So basically, ito po yung naka-attach sa chest cavity, your parietal pleura. And also, this is sensitive to pain. Tandaan, sensitive to pain, parietal pleura. Kasi meron niyang nerve supply. Okay? Visceral pleura on the other hand, kung kanina si parietal naka-attach kay cavity, chest cavity, no? The thoracic cavity. Your visceral pleura covers the external surface of the lungs. Meaning, siya yung pumapasok sa mga fissures. Sinusundan niya talaga yung shape ng lungs. Kasi directly, doon siya nakaline sa lungs mismo. Kaya nga visceral organ. Doon yung covering niya. Ito, kung kanina, sensitive to pain ang parietal, ang inyong visceral pleura is sensitive to stretch. Nakaka-follow po? Okay. Next, we have the subdivisions of your parietal pleura depending on location. Number 1, we have your costal pleura. So your costal pleura lines the rib cage. Paki-take note, the costal pleura lines the rib cage. On the other hand, your cervical pleura, no, or your cupula, no, other name ni cervical pleura is cupula. This extends, since nandun siya sa apex ng lungs, sa taas, this extends above the first rib, no? Extends above the first rib, and clinically, you can actually hear breath sounds doon sa inyong supraclavicular area. Supraclavicular area, makakarinig kayo ng breath sounds, no? Doon sa may cervical pleura. And also, meron doon pong covering yung cervical pleura ninyo, no? Ang tawag doon sa covering ng cervical pleura is your Sibson's fascia. Sibson's fascia. The covering, no, of your cupula or cervical pleura, no, for protection is known as your Sibson's fascia. Nakapalo po? Hello? Okay. Next, we have your diaphragmatic pleura. So diaphragmatic pleura, nasa baba, no, from the word diaphragm. So this covers the superior surface of the diaphragm, your diaphragmatic pleura. And then we have your mediastinal pleura. So the mediastinal pleura naman, on the other hand, lines the medial wall, no, your mediastinum, no, near the heart and the other structures, no, malapit sa lungs, or sa heart rather. That's your mediastinal pleura. Malinaw po yung apat, costal pleura, cervical pleura, diaphragmatic, and mediastinal. Okay? Sino po yung naglaline sa diaphragm? Superior surface of the diaphragm. Superior surface of the diaphragm, lining, parietal pleura. Sa pangalan naman sinabi ko, lines the superior surface of the diaphragm. Superior surface of the diaphragm. Diaphragmatic pleura. Okay? Paano kapag sinabi, lines the medial wall near the heart and other structures? Lines the medial wall and near the heart and other structures. Mediastinal. Kasi, di ba, alam natin, ang heart, saan ba makikita? Mediastinum. Di ba, the location of the heart is at the mediastinum. So, mediastinal, yun agad. Medial wall siya. Kapag sabi, sino yung kino-cover ng Sibson's fascia? Covered by Sibson's fascia for protection. Cupula or your cervical pleura. Okay, very good. Kapag nagla-line ng rib cage, lines the rib cage. Costal, no, pleura. Kasi rib cage, ribs nga, costal, pleura. Nasa pangalan naman. Okay? So next, we have your pleural cavity. So between the pleural layers, the visceral and the parietal, we have your pleural cavity. So sabi daw, slit-like space, very narrow lang. It contains serous fluid, your pleural fluid. No? So, anong function ng pleural fluid? Sabi daw po, it acts as a lubricant. Para ngayon, smooth yung movement ng lungs during breathing. Kasi di ba nag-expand ang lungs? So para smooth ang expansion of the lungs, we have your pleural fluid inside the pleural cavity. Pero usually, kapag tinanong, ilan po ang amount ng pleural fluid na nandyan sa pleural cavity? O sabi daw po, approximately 100 ml. No? Approximately 100 ml. So instead na magkaroon ng friction yung lungs and chest wall, naging smooth yung movement